endgame dawn breaks. We finally made it here. It's been a long over 100-hour journey on stream. An additional 40 hours off camera-ish. But we finally made it to the end game. Where am I? It's so dark. I'm so tired.
Time to wake up.
Rise and shine, Lord Harmonia.
Oh.
Flora, I must be in my bedroom.
Yes.
Of course, Lord Harmonia. Where else? Anyway, I've prepared your horse for you. You have practiced this morning. Oh, Lilith, you're here too. But I'm so sleepy. How late was I up last night? Well,
Brace for
I know just the thing for a slug of bed like you. Actually, never mind. I think you're going to have to wake up on your own for once. What's that supposed to mean? You seem different somehow. Where's the ice magic I've come to know and loathe over the years? Come to think of it, where are Jacob and Felicia? They should be here.
So,
Hey.
Flora, what's wrong? We've been trying to contact you about the extended warranty on... Still in bed? Wake up, lazy bones. Yes, your retainers have been awake and working on your behalf for hours. Good morning, Xander and Elise. Sorry, I don't know what's wrong with me today. I'm just exhausted. Well, you better get it together, or you'll be stuck in here forever. That's okay. As long as I have all of you with me, I'll always be happy. I don't mind staying here for the rest of my life.
well...
Are you sure about that? Is that really what you want? What do you mean? Of course. And it's what Father wants for me too.
Listen.
Listen to me carefully, Harmonia. What do you think Father's true intentions for you are? That's a weird question. I mean, he's my father. He gave me this castle and servants and raised me. Well, I mean, I guess you did most of the raising, but you know what I mean. He intends for me to follow in your noble footsteps, naturally. Remember? He gave me that special sword and... No. Gods, I remember everything now. King Garen isn't my father. We were just battling in his throne room.
Well done.
So, you remember. What now?
It can't be.
Am I dead?
No.
No. You can still go back, but you must make a decision. You must choose to remain here with us. Or you can choose to remain here with us. Or you can go back and fight with your allies.
No.
My allies. Your hero is dead. Admit defeat now, and your suffering will be minimal.
Not on my watch.
This is far from over, Garen. Harmonia still lives, I know it.
Truly.
I too sense that Harmonia is still present somehow. Very well. You have brought this upon yourselves. If you will not disconnect the game, I will down you, take your loot and acquire my victory royale. Ryoma has Zura. They're all in danger.
What will you do?
Yes, they're all waiting on you, Harmonia. They believe you will rise again and fight alongside them.
It'll be all right.
Everything will be... Oh yeah, it's kind of like the thing from Fire Emblem Awakening where you have like all the quotes of the people in your active party. So this is going to be like all the Kiddo units plus Azura and Ryoma, essentially, is what this is going to be. Probably no one else, because we brought the whole Kiddo units. Everything will be okay. It just has to be. I know he'll get them really soon. Papa, don't leave me. Promise I'll be a good girl.
Don't die.
I know it's tempting to sleep forever, but you can't leave us like this.
What are you
You
doing?
have to wake up. I can't follow you into death.
Stay with me.
I do not wish to sing a requiem for you.
You can't just
Don't give up. Hang on, and I'll whip up some medicine for you.
Game
I
time.
promise to keep fighting until you awaken. I won't give up, so you can't either.
Try not to die.
We've come too far to have the battle end like this.
Wait, what?
Why are you lying around like that? Wake up, we have work to do.
I'm with you.
I want to fight at your side until the very end. You can't die.
It's my duty.
I should have been the one to take that hit. We still need you to lead us.
Your courage.
The flame of life
inspires me.
burns, truly deeply in your soul. Awaken, my friend. This is really the time for a haiku, isn't it? My goodness. If you die here, playtime is over forever. So don't do it, okay? So just don't die, forehead.
Look me
It
in
is
the
not your
eyes.
time, Harmonia. Open your eyes. Let me hear your voice again.
We stand
Come on,
together.
Harmonia, wake up. I know you can do it. Yeah, it's a whole active party. So it's literally all the Kiddo units plus Ryoma Azura. Is essentially what we got.
Everyone.
My friends, I need to go back. I need to keep fighting. welcome back to Canada.
Well,
Have you made up your mind, Lord Harmonia?
Yes.
Yes, I have to go back. It's so tempting to just stay here forever with all of you, but the world needs me right now.
is that so?
I'm so proud of you. You've grown to such a fine young man. Go, save your friends, and save the world from Garen. We will always be watching over you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Flora. I'm glad you could help me wake up one last time. So this is at the scene where each of these characters died. None of us will ever forget you, Lord Harmonia. I'll treasure every moment we spent together. The warmth of your hands when you rescued me that day. The feeling of comfort when I perched upon your shoulder. If you ever feel lonely, just know that I'm out there somewhere, thinking of you. Lilith, you're going to make me cry. I'll never forget you either. Your bravery and your kindness. Thank you for everything.
Big brother!
Be strong, Harmonia. I love you more than anyone else in the entire world. Oh, can you give a message to Leo and Camilla for me? This might be the only chance to tell them how much I love them. There's so much I want to say. Just tell them that I'm always thinking of them and that I miss them. And they better not fight anymore or I'll be angry. Of course, Elise. I love you too. I'll miss you. Time has stopped for us here, but you have so much more life left to live, little prince. You can accomplish what we couldn't. You can save this world. I urge you to seize the future. Do it for those of us who cannot.
It's time.
Go
to
now,
say goodbye.
my beloved brother.
Listen.
Thank you, Xander. I finally understand why you made the choices you did. I won't let you down. I promise to make you proud no matter what. Harmonia.
This is it.
I'm the hero Gotham needs, is what this scene is making me think of. Everyone, I must leave now. I know someday our paths will cross again, in this realm or beyond. I'm going back to fight. Not just for me, but for all of you too. Everyone is waiting for me. I won't give up. I won't let Garen win. Yato, give me your strength. Just breaks to pieces and then just reforms. Casually, no biggie. So you awaken.
Here I am.
Thank you, trusted Yato Blade.
I've been waiting for
Everyone, Harmonia is revived.
I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry for worrying you. Xander, Elise, and the others helped me find my way back to you. It's hard to explain, but I'm back. I'm more determined than ever to end this war.
Let's have at it.
Yeah, let's get him, Harmonia.
Hold on a minute.
It's always about you, isn't it? Just kidding, brother. Let's do this. I was so worried about you. No matter. This merely delays the inevitable. Ready your sword, so that I may shatter it anew.
I won't allow
We'll see. That is one massive fist. What?
Not a
Ha,
chance.
you see, Blazing Yato can never be destroyed. It is now fueled by the faith of Xander and Elise and everyone I love. Impudent fool.
No.
You're wrong, Garen. This is the path I chose, and you were always meant to be at the end of it. I will bring peace to the world and right all of your wrongs, and I'm not alone. We're all prepared to sacrifice ourselves for the greater good. That's true power. And you are about to find out, as you are about to find out. The only thing I am about to find out is whether your body or your blade will break first.
For Hoshido.
Get ready, everyone. This is it. We can end this war right now. Join me and fight for the salvation of Hoshido and Nor. So we have the exact same squad here. Yeah, exact same squad and whatnot. Anyway, but yeah, I can agree with the shot of him standing on the castle is legitimately a badass thing, isn't it? So it's literally just defeat the boss end game. So we can, in theory, do it in like one turn. Sigil. So they'll just like infinitely spawn, kind of like the final boss of Awakening and whatnot. But if we have a flyer over here, like hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can literally just get there. I can attack with like range, and then we can like warp sing over there. And whoops. And then do it with Blazing Yato, right? This is the strat, right? I hope. I hope it's the strat at least. I should certainly hope so. But everybody can get like a final round of something in, I guess. That's what they can do. Or from Rajat, because she's gonna be teleporting and stuff. You know. Rajat's gonna be a little bit occupied. Ocupado. Yeah, there we go. Something like that, I guess. We can't save here, so instead I'm going to save state in case something goes terribly wrong. And let's see what happens here. It's time, Harmonia. We're going to sing my song without restraint. You must act while its effects are at the strongest. Wait.
Look me in
No.
the eyes.
Don't worry, and don't try to stop me. This is my destiny.
Understood.
Very well. Just don't forget the promise you made to me.
Trust me.
I haven't forgotten. Believe me, I have no wish to
I
disappear.
see.
And by all means, sing your heart out. It's the first time you've ever done that.
Huh?
Done what?
You.
Asked me to sing. Makes me happy to contribute to the cause. Well, we need all the help we can get, but not at the expense of your life. I know. I'm sorry to worry you, but here I go. I can't move. No matter. Simple tricks like this will not help you. Anankos, great one. Give me power. Anankos is my dad that works at Epic Games, by the way. He does an opportunity shot immediately. Oh, good job, Kuragi. Good job there. My goodness, there's a lot of things that Fire Emblem Fates could do better, but music is one of the things that it absolutely nails, and the final boss theme is something absolutely incredible in this game that I adore. So yeah, we can literally just make it there. What the hell are these? Blight area to feed Garen HP each turn? What the hell? I always just one turn this map, so like I never know what any of this stuff does. So, I mean, you know, it'll be interesting finding out, but like, at the same time, I'd rather give everybody like a final hit and then get in there. Everybody gets a one final smackaroo on some enemy before we close things out here. Do you have counter? You do not, so Hazame can just get on in there. Is what he can do. Well, actually get to use the Brave Sword properly for like the only time in this whole playthrough. Well, never mind, we're not even gonna use it properly. Yeah, maybe it is healing himself to, you know, blight that area and heal him. I assume it's not something that I'm supposed to use. Well, 35 before we end things. Oh, now he gets Speed Taker, huh? Speed Taker, look at that. How crazy is that, huh? Well, we'll have Kana get in there first. And, like... Sure, let's go for it. Let's go for the sword smack route. Proc something. You proc nothing. Sucks. So much for, like, a nice finish with everybody. Potentially getting a crit or anything like that. Well... Ryoma coming in with the save. Yeah, just freaking one last deletion for Ryoma before we end this playthrough and don't see him again until Revelations. And he gets a crit with it. You've breathed your last. The last time that we'll get to play as him until Revelations. Okay. Well, what do we want to do here, huh? Shoot him, Kuragi! Get him! If you do lyrics in a final boss fight really well, it could be like the coolest thing. And I feel like Fire Emblem Fates does it really well. Galazzo Kana's final strike was the Gensu one. Indeed it was. Indeedly do. Ah, but we can get Ike in here. Our Shiro Ike, along with his pal Kuragi. It is worth noting that, like Fire Emblem Awakening, I'm fairly certain there are, like, the kind of epilogue credits thingamabobs for everybody after this. And since I didn't exactly S-support all the kiddos, there might not be, like, full-on things for that for each of them, but... oh, well. Oh, well. They might not each be able to do their own thing. Wait. Oh, we can actually get, you over here, Osugi, to do this. This works. Sure. Go after that guy. Yeah, proc a thing. It's gonna do no extra damage, but like, still a piece of cake. Lethality? Nope. Imagine. Imagine if we proc lethality like right then. But yeah, there's a lot of things that I would change about Fire Emblem Fates, but music, so good. Such an incredible final boss theme, I must say. This is gonna be good, huh? Poke, poke, poke. There we go. You're out of here.
Victory.
That level up to take us out of the moment a little bit, but
Now
ah well, what you gonna do? Alright, what are we doing over here, huh? Oh yeah, we can snipe from that far because we have the freaking spies Yumi. Is also the case. So like, how are you feeling here, Dwyer? How you feeling about your final strike? Dang, I was hoping it'd be Astra. Darn it. Whatever. How do you feel, Midori? How you feeling about this, huh? Go ahead and smackaroo that bish. No crit or Luna like you oftentimes get. Big sad. We're not proccing a lot of stuff for these final hits. It's such a big saddening. It's a mucho unfortunito. But ah well. Ah well, it is what it is, I guess. Okay, time to crunch, crunch, munch, munch. Take this. Yeah, it's freaking Astra, indeedly too. Oh well, commentator's curse. At like the best possible time.
nice playing with ya.
We got a final Astra there. Okay. And then, oh, we can technically go for an 8. Come on, Sophie. Never forget that you chose this path. You chose death and defeat. You chose doom and my victory royale. Your death is at hand. Come on, land the 56, please. Oh, such big sad. Man. Okay, well. Huh. Maybe I do need to get multiple units in there after all. Maybe I do. Maybe I'm not going to be able to freaking one-turn this with my current setup. Unless freaking Blazing Yato is going to be absolutely incredible. Oh, wait, at least we won't have to worry about taking damage right now then. Because, you know, we're going to have the full bar built up. Like, we are going to have to deal with the all stats -4 debuff. Oh my goodness, it's a lag in the game. My goodness. Ignis, how much is this going to do? Okay, maybe we can do it with Blazing Yato. All our stats are going to be going down by 4, which is the, you know, sketchy part there. Is the thing. So, I mean. Alright, yeah, let's go here. Like that. Go ahead and switch and then sing. Alright, what can Blazing Yato do, huh? We need to proc some very crazy things. Is what we need to do. Or else we're not winning this. Come on, Ether or something. Ether! Yes! One smackaroo. Oh, the crit! Ooh! Sweet! Well, ask and ye shall receive. Harmonia's commentator curse strikes again. These wounds. This can't be. I refuse to accept death. I refuse to accept second place in this battle royale. Magic went up by 1, by the way. If you're wondering what that single point was, oh, it says on the top screen anyway, so it doesn't even matter. I should have killed you when I had the chance, when you were a mere child. Why didn't you, King Garen? Why? Tell me why, father. Because you were my most precious pawn. I knew I could use you to get to Queen Makoto. No matter, I feel at peace now. How long has it been since I felt like this? Perhaps this is what I wanted all along. A time before Fortnite existed. The sweet release of death. My body was destroyed. My mind lost. Since that moment, I became something. Something. A Fortnite streamer. This is my fate now. What just happened? What did he mean by that? Was he already dead? Were those delirious ramblings of a dying man? Or something more? Xander did say that father, I mean King Garen, had changed. I wonder. At last, we can live in peace.
Azura?
Please don't tell me you wait, please tell me you didn't overdo it. You don't look good.
My apologies.
Sorry, Harmonia. Promised you I wouldn't disappear, but I'm not sure I can keep my word.
No.
Please, you can't just die like this. We did it, Azura. We made your dream come true. But what's it worth if you never get to experience it for yourself?
No.
I'm at peace now, Harmonia. I know that you and everyone else will be safe. That is worth everything. Will you listen to one more selfish request? That is it. I want you to live a joyful life. Don't let this sour your victory. The war is over, thanks to you. A world at peace. That's the world we dreamed of. That's the world I risked my life for. And it was worth it. So, it's your turn to make me a promise, Harmonia.
Azura?
Azura, no. Oh, and it's lagging again. We get it at 50% speed. Maybe on the further playthrough, the new graphics card will help fix things. I'm going to configure settings real quick, and I'm going to change the CPU clock speed to something higher. Does that fix it? Nope. That was a valiant effort, let's face it. I froze it by doing that. Let's configure it. Let's try much lower CPU clock speed. Let's try 150% is what we do. Oh, that's the key to getting it running at normal speed. What the hell?
Smile for me. One last time.
Imagine me having a stream of Fire Emblem Fates where nothing goes wrong.
Before I go. That's right. Lovely.
No, I can't lose anyone else. I've lost so much. I'll keep my promise, Azura. I won't let your sacrifice be in vain. Everyone, we have a lot of work ahead of us. Let's make the world a place we can be proud of again. When those who fell watch over us, they'll know they can rest in peace.
Azura.
Sing for me again someday. Whoa, there's a bunch of hanging cages here. I never noticed that. That's besides the point, but you know. That one tree just spawned in. Well, faded in.
Well then.
People of Hoshido, let it be known that Ryoma, High Prince of Hoshido, has succeeded Queen Makoto. He takes the throne at the cusp of a new era of peace in our land. Ryoma, please accept this crown as a symbol of your victory, title.
Yes.
Thank you, Yukimura. As king, I vow to uphold the values my mother represented so well. Justice, charity, equality, and above all, peace. We shall lead the world into a new age of prosperity.
Big brother.
Ryoma, has it even hit you? You're king. Whoa, lag. You look so regal. I'm so happy for you, brother.
Hey.
Are you okay, Sakura? This should be a happy occasion.
Yes,
I know. I was just thinking of how happy this would make Mother.
Sakura.
I'm so sorry. But I think you're right. She is happy, wherever she is.
True.
Yeah, she's probably watching over us right now, tearing up herself. Ah, damn it.
What?
You too, Hinoka? We've got to pull ourselves together, at least until the end of the ceremony. He's right. How does it look to the people out there with us sobbing all sobbing up here? Right, everyone. I think Ryoma has a bit more to say. So what is it about airline food Before you all leave, I have a few more words for you. With any war comes casualties. The casualties of this war have been almost too much to bear. I speak, of course, of our beloved Queen Makoto. Still, we must move forward. The crisis our world faced is finally at an end. And in this moment, we have done something extraordinary. We have made peace with the Kingdom of Nor. I know some of you here today probably find that hard to swallow. But there can be no light without dark. The two complement each other. And so too do the two greatest kingdoms there ever were. They each have something the other lacks, and together are made whole. We in Hoshido must share our light and our bounty. We have much to learn from our brothers and sisters in Nor, like flashbang technology. Let us live together. Let us move forward on the same path towards a brighter future. I can't word sometimes. Thank you for your time, and may the gods bless you.
Big brother.
Well spoken, Ryoma. He got you too.
Huh?
No, I just got some smoke in my eyes. It's okay, we all did.
Hey.
Speak for yourself, sister. Unless we can count on Takumi to bring us back to reality. Excuse me, but the ceremony is not quite over. Now is the meme presentation.
Oh.
So sorry, Yukimura. Please continue.
Well then.
This concludes the coronation ceremony. May the ceremony is not quite over. This concludes the ceremony. May Hashido and King Ryoma reign in glory forever. That was a wonderful speech, Ryoma. I just hope all the crying didn't distract you too much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Harmonia. No, I didn't even notice. Hopefully you didn't notice how nervous I was up there.
No.
You were nervous? I don't believe it. You looked right in your element. Bold and regal, befitting of your new title, Lobster Lord. Really? Well, thank you. That's reassuring.
Yes.
Yes, it was quite a moment when Yukimura handed you the crown. Oh yes, even I was moved. Not to tears, mind you.
Yes.
I had no idea the Hashiden royals were such softies.
Hey.
Camilla, Leo, I'm so glad you could make it today. Of course. It wouldn't do for Hashido's newest allies to miss Ryoma's coronation, would it?
Thank you.
Well, I suppose not, but I know you've both been busy since the war ended. I'm so happy to see both of you. You too, Harmonia. Although I can't say I'm fully comfortable walking around Hashido just yet. Leo, I assure you. Oh, please, Leo. What about when you were milling around to the outdoor market this morning? Remember, you were going on about how great it was to see Harmonia again. Camilla. Anyway, it's wonderful to see you, Harmonia. But I must admit that the loss of Xander and Elise still weighs heavily on me. How are you holding up?
Yeah.
I think about them every day. Their deaths will be a burden I carry for the rest of my life.
I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry for your loss. Those who fell in the war will never be forgotten. We won't easily forget how many lives were lost to Hashiden blades. All we can do to atone is prevent such war from ever happening again.
I see.
Right you are. Were it within my power as king, my first act would be to bring back your siblings. And Azura as well. Oh, I miss Azura so much. I didn't spend enough time with her when she was alive. Again with the crying. Look, it may have taken me a while to warm up to Azura, but in the end, I really miss her too.
Well.
Now we've done it. Even Takumi is crying. You guys are going to need to hold it together at my coronation, okay? We can't have all of North thinking that Hashidans are moved so easily to tears. Your coronation, but I thought Camilla was next in line.
I know.
Oh, that was supposed to be a surprise. You ruined it, Leo.
Yes.
To answer your question, yes, I am next in line for the crown. But I begged Leo to take my place, and he has graciously accepted. I have no desire to run a kingdom. So there you have it. You should know that I have big plans for Nor. I think a little friendly competition with Hashido will be good for both of us. And on that note, I'm quite busy, so it's time I said my goodbyes.
True.
I'll join you. Everyone, I look forward to seeing you at the coronation ceremony in Nor.
Yes.
Thank you, Camilla. We'll be there. And off they go.
That's true.
Yes, but you'll see them again soon. They are your siblings, after all. Too bad they're leaving so soon. They're going to miss the festival. Hmm? That's right. I forgot you've never seen a Hashiden festival before. It's kind of like the biggest party you can imagine. So put all those sad feelings on the back burner and get ready to dance. It sounds like just the thing. We could all stand to let off some steam.
I'm so happy.
Oh, it's been so long since we have a proper festival. I can't wait. Just try not to embarrass yourself this time, guys. We're members of the royal family.
That's true.
Need I remind you of a certain incident not so long ago, involving you dancing on a stage with a band of musicians. I kid, brother. It would behoove me to make an offering on Mother's behalf at some point. Perhaps some vendor is selling those sweet rice dumplings she used to love. This is going to be great. How can I help? Let's just make sure the crowds don't get too rowdy. Other than that, we're on official orders to have a good time. Horians and Hashidans partying together. How does the world come to?
All right.
Thank you, everyone. Wow, all of our retainers speak up except for Kaze, I guess. Wacky, guess he gets left out. Thank you, everyone. Having all of you by my side fills my heart with joy. Now, please, I've heard enough about peace and justice in the future. As Hinoka said, let's have some fun for once. Oh, they weren't kidding about the festival. I'm exhausted. Maybe I should take a little break. It's all just a bit overwhelming. Hmm? This place seems familiar. Oh, it's where I first met Azura. Oh, Azura. Am I hearing things? That's her song. Azura. Maybe I'm just hallucinating due to exhaustion, but I don't care. I'm so glad to see you.
Azura?
Azura?
Hey.
Tell me, Harmonia, what do you see in this lake?
Well...
Just water, I suppose. What am I supposed to see?
I see.
I think if you look carefully, you might sense something deeper. Empty your mind of thoughts and let yourself be in the moment.
Oh.
Well, okay. Good. Keep your focus on the lake. Don't look away.
Huh?
But I have so much I want to say.
Go on.
Not now. Just do as I ask.
Understood.
Very well. I'm sorry, but I have to get this off my chest. I want to thank you for everything you've done. You're the most selfless person I've ever known, and I just... Wait, Azura?
No.
Maybe my mind was playing a trick on me.
Thank you.
Thank you for your bravery, Harmonia. I hope we can meet again someday.
Azura.
Azura, if you can hear me.
Yeah.
I'm sure we will meet again, somehow. Until then, I will never forget you.
Hey.
Ryoma? I mean, Harmonia. I'm Ryoma. Are you a spy? What are you doing here all by yourself? Don't tell me you're calling it a night. Festival is still going strong. I was just taking a breather. You guys sure know how to celebrate. You can tell everyone I'll be right back. I just need a few more moments to dream. A few more minutes to dream.
You know, I always wanted to take you flying. Hello, hello! How's the view up there? Hey!
Don't fall now. Careful. I told Mother the war is over. You stood for peace. Always. We carry on your legacy. Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
That said, our task will always be a difficult one. But no matter how hard it may be, we will succeed with you at our side. All of us, hand in hand.
Well, there you have it. Fire Emblem Fates Birthright. What a time this has been. I was not expecting to put like 140 something hours into this game. Especially in, you know, the Birthright route of all things. Like, I could see that maybe happening for Revelations. But I was not expecting that for freaking Birthright. My goodness gracious. That was a time. That is the most amount of hours I've ever put into any save file of Fire Emblem Fates. Like, before I was a content creator, the most hours I had in any file was like a 70-hour Revelations file. But, you know... Never. This is literally double that time. This is 140 there. My, oh my. Does the prologue have the same name of Awakening's prologue? Ties, did it say Ties That Bind? It might have there. Oh yeah! My freaking Azura script. Remember several months ago, the beginning of this playthrough, when I literally put together a custom auto hotkey script to get to level 40 with Azura? Yeah, that's that 999 turns. I forgot about that. Why is chapter 7 124? What did I do in that one? I don't even remember anymore. It must have been something pretty darn crazy to be 124. What the heck? Anyway, during the credits is usually when I give like my full review of a game. I've kind of already given my full review of this game like several times during the playthrough is also the thing. like, Fire Emblem Fates in general, we have 2 more routes to go, but, you know, in general, Fire Emblem Fates is, like, story is, like, they had the potential to make a really cool story, but it just completely missed its mark, I feel like. Like, the story that they could have crafted could have been really, really, really cool. Like, it had a lot of things potentially going for it. But then it's just... all 3 of the routes are just, like, defeat the big bad. There are some very fascinating things with the plot of Conquest, but for the most part, it's just like, yeah, just go beat the big bad. And it sucks. But alas. Music is freaking fantastic. I love the music of Fire Emblem Fates. It's one of, if not my favorite Fire Emblem soundtrack. It's so dang good. I mean, Fire Emblem soundtracks are always freaking hella good, but my goodness, Fire Emblem Fates music, that's where it's at. That is absolutely where it's at. You almost teared up at the final cutscene because this is stream 20 of our adventure that's been going on for how long has this been going on? Wait, what day did we start this? Hold on, let's look at my YouTube channel here. Fire Emblem Fates. Let's see here. What day did we start this? We started this on April 9th. It's currently July 17th. So this took over 3 months to beat Fire Emblem Fates Birthright. Since when does it... Yeah, I started it last Tuesday. Since when does it take anybody over 3 months to beat Fire Emblem Fates Birthright? What an adventure this has been. But because of that, I found out that, like, my playthroughs that we're gonna do here of Fire Emblem Fates are gonna be a lot longer than I expected, since I'm taking the time to, you know, really deck out my freaking save files and whatnot. So we're probably gonna take a little bit of a break before Conquest, but more on that soon. I'll just finish off my freaking general review. Story had potential but missed its mark. Music is fantastic, and gameplay is mostly fantastic. I think after having put 140 hours into Fire Emblem Fates Birthright, I'm starting to notice some of the, not so good things about the gameplay and whatnot. Like, for example, there's that whole fiasco where it's like, if you use a partner seal or a friendship seal, then, like, you'll get a class set from the person in question that you support it with, but the way that it works is actually a little bit wonky. If you both have the same primary class set, like, every character will have, like, a primary class set and a secondary class set. If you have the same primary class set and you use, like, a partner seal or a friendship seal, then you'll instead get their secondary class set, and that's, like, the new class set that you'll unlock rather than the primary one, since you already have the primary one. But if you have their primary class set as your secondary class set, then the game's not gonna be like, oh, you already have that class set, time to give you their secondary class set. It still gives you their primary class set, despite the fact that you already have it as your secondary class set. So I planned out, like, some builds and some spicy things that I just couldn't get going. Like, I planned on having Rinka have Astra that she would get from freaking Kaze's samurai and whatnot, that she'd also pass down to, like, freaking Midori and whatnot. But that couldn't even happen because Rinka's secondary class set was Ninja, and Kaze's primary class set was Ninja. So it passed over Ninja despite the fact that she already had it because it wasn't her primary class set. So stuff like that is just, like, real dumb. Or, like, the thing with, like, the dual support gauge, for example, where I feel like if it's an attack that would normally miss, or it'll just do 0 damage and it's not a dagger, then it shouldn't just eat your entire support gauge and be like, well, I guess you're gonna receive the next hit. Some enemy comes and tries to hit you with, like, a 0% chance to hit. Oh, there goes your entire dual support gauge, and now here comes the enemy that freaking shreds you. So there's stuff like that that's, you know, a bit irksome. The gameplay is generally pretty good, but, like, my goodness, it could use some tweaking. And I'm gonna have to, like, revise my plans for Conquest now that I know this whole thing with, like, the whole primary secondary class set situation in terms of how they get passed over with friendship and partner seals. Like, my goodness gracious, yeah, 1 turn for the final thingamabob. My good gracious. So that's basically that. Anyway, when it comes to my stance with this game, this took over 3 months to get through. This has been a very long playthrough of Fire Emblem Fates Birthright. So, you know, it's made me realize that when we start Conquest, it's going to be a very long playthrough as well. So I'm going to wait until my game schedule eases up a bit. Because what games do we have going on right now if I look at my freaking stream schedule? I have 1 more session of Mario Golf to do. We started Skyward Sword HD on YouTube, which I might not even finish because we already did the first original Skyward Sword on the channel. We got to get through Metroid 2, 3, and 4 before freaking you know, Metroid Dread releases. Still got some stuff to wrap up with Watch Dogs. We're wrapping up a Super Mario 3D World. There's Dark Deity. We've got to wrap up Pokemon Platinum's post-game. We've got Pokemon Unite coming out a few days from now that I'll be covering. My schedule feels crazy. My schedule feels absolutely crazy sometimes. So I'm gonna wait for my schedule to ease up a little bit before we hop into Fire Emblem Fates Conquest. It's not gonna be one of those things where I just immediately hop from one playthrough to another. I need to take breaks. It's kind of like with Fire Emblem Three Houses where I need to take breaks, except less so because I'm getting tired of the monastery and like grinding over and over again, but more so just because it's like, holy crap, this was a long playthrough. We gotta take a break. She really had 0 battles in this. She has more battles in the other file that I was developing stuff in and whatnot. So we're taking a break. We're definitely taking a bit of a break here because, my goodness gracious, this is certainly something. We will be doing Conquest and Revelations on Lunatic Classic, but consider this like the finale of Season 1 of our Fire Emblem Fates playthrough, and Season 2 will be whenever my game schedule eases up a bit more. It's probably going to be sometime later this year still. Like, it's probably not going to be this summer. It'll probably be sometime in like the fall to winter-ish this year, if I had to guess. Don't hold me to that, just in case it doesn't work out like that. Just in case it doesn't work out like that, please don't hold me to that, because I'll just adjust the audio there slightly, because I might not be able to guarantee that. It really depends on how things work out and whatnot. So, but my current estimate is around fall to December-ish, fall to winter-ish. We should be able to hop into Conquest and whatnot. I'll hold you to it anyway. But point is, I fully expect to start Conquest sometime this year, at least. Revelations is definitely not being started this year, considering it took me, you know, 3 months to get through Birthright. I would have to start Conquest like very soon after and then hop into Revelations, the one that's gonna take me the longest with like making builds for people. Which I was mentioning before how I made like another file of Birthright in addition to this that like built off of this file to just be like Cheaty Pete and just make my final builds for the characters that I planned. I'm thinking when it comes to that kind of grinding in future files, I might just become a Cheaty Pete. Because, my goodness, I spent a lot of time grinding in this file. That's where a lot of the time of this 140 hours is. Like, my good gracious. I spent way too much time grinding in mostly the gold map. And then second most the EXP map. It was, I got really tired of that. And it's all just stuff that's like, all it is like how much time are you willing to dump in. It has nothing to do with like skill or anything like that. It's how much time do you want to dump in. So for the sake of future playthroughs, when it comes to like grinding for like getting skills on the adult units who want to pass down skills to their kiddo units by the time chapter 19 rolls around, or just getting like my final builds prepared for like my final file and stuff like that, I'm probably just gonna be a Cheaty Pete. Probably what I'm gonna do, honestly. So, you know, we'll see how that goes and whatnot. So that's my current plans for that. So my current estimates are Conquest Lunatic Classic sometime around fall to winterish, and then Revelations will be a playthrough for some time during 2022, most likely. Isn't that crazy to think that this game is going to take this long and be spaced out that much? Like, if you wanted to bum rush Fire Emblem Fates, you could do it in, like, no time at all, especially on, like, the lower difficulties, and just have, like, a full playthrough of all 3 runs done just like that. But, you know, since we're taking our time to, like, really flush out each of these save files, it's taking a little extra long. And that's what people kind of knew me for with my Fire Emblem Awakening playthrough anyway. So, and that's what people know me now for with my Fire Emblem Fates playthrough, for those that have tuned into that. Which, by the way, thanks all that tuned into this series, because it's been a long ride that's still going on. Anima Inc. Anima would be impressed to see that, one of our mods. So, yeah, this has been a very long series. This is 85 parts, I believe. Which is really insane to think about. 85 parts and 140 hours in Fire Emblem Fates Birthright. I never thought it'd wind up like this. This is literally more parts of my Fire Emblem Awakening playthrough. My Awakening playthrough was 83. This is 85, I think. So, wow. Certainly wasn't expecting that. I certainly wasn't expecting that. And that was Awakening after covering, like, each of the freaking DLC maps as well. Wow. How did it wind up like this? How did this happen? Whatever. That's besides the point, I guess. So, yeah, because of how long this series has been, and how long it'll continue to be, I thank everybody that's like stopped by to tune into this either on Twitch right now or on YouTube after the fact, because my goodness, this has been a long series. And to be receiving, you know, comments and whatnot as it's going on, and people saying like, hey, I really enjoyed your Awakening series and now I'm really enjoying your Fate series. It's like, oh, that's so heartwarming to me, you know? It's like, those are the kinds of comments that make my day. At the end of the day, those are the kinds of comments where it's like, I'm glad I made this playthrough now, you know? Those are the ones that make me glad about doing the freaking wacky stuff that we do of spending over 100 hours in Fates Birthright. Ah! I will almost certainly be doing so in Conquest as well. Oh my goodness, what a world, huh? But yeah, so in all seriousness, thanks everybody who stopped by and hung out for like this series, either on stream or like watching it on YouTube and whatnot, because this has been a long series that I know is like a major time investment to tune into something this long. Like, it was a major time investment for me to freaking make it, never mind people stopping by that find a boosted nerd like me entertaining enough to tune into and do stuff there. Yeah, we didn't get the chance to pair off most of the kiddos, so whoops. I'll try to fix that for next playthrough and whatnot. And welcome Reggie Bump. Well, we have all these yeah, I'm freaking 76% boosted apparently and whatnot. But yeah, honestly, I had fun. I did have fun with this at the end of the day. Ever since about maybe halfway through my Awakening playthrough, probably even since before starting my Awakening playthrough, I knew that I wanted to do Awakening before Fates. And throughout like all of Awakening playthrough on this channel, I was like, man, I look forward to the day that we can hop into Fates, the game that like fixed a lot of the gameplay issues of Awakening and is like a better gameplay experience in my own opinion. Especially Conquest, that one's gonna be really fun to hop into and whatnot. But yeah, so I was glad to finally hop into it. The route that I was looking most forward to is Conquest Lunatic Classic, which I'm still looking forward to and whatnot. But honestly, I had a lot of fun with this Birthright playthrough and breaking it in half and whatnot, as we do. Like I mentioned, before I was a content creator, I played Fire Emblem Fates all 3 routes on Lunatic Classic, and that was the only way that I ever like experienced it, apart from that one like passing down skills file that I talked about earlier. I wound up doing Birthright Lunatic Classic, then Conquest, then Revelations. They were all my first playthroughs of Fates, and I got so freaking shreked in all of them. I managed to beat all of them, but my goodness, it was insane. I needed to pull off like the most insane cheese to beat them back then. Like, I remember as I was in the chapter 27, for example, the one right before like the end game chapter, I remember I was describing how back then I needed to do like this hidey hole strat. I needed to like cozy up in this little hidey hole and basically have all the enemies come down to us and take out all the enemies in our hidey hole, and then we go to Garen. Like, I had to do cheese like that because I literally could not. I literally could not do it otherwise. But now, we were able to just deal with it all, like, head on. Because we were way stronger than I was back then. I'm way better at this game than back then. And I had a lot better knowledge of how to break this game in half. So, that was certainly interesting and whatnot. Hello, Chance. Looking good tonight to beat the game. Yeah, we beat the game a little smidge ago. We managed to finally beat Fire Emblem Fates Birthright after like 140 something hours. Like, not in terms of how long this playthrough is, that includes a lot of off-camera grinding, but like, still, that's a lot of time. So we successfully stole Garen's Xbox and killed him, and Nord no longer suffers from chronic flashbangs. Yeah, we saved the world from chronic flashbangs and King Garen's victory royale and whatnot. But yeah, I had fun. I had a good time. This was very interesting. There are several things that we didn't cover that I was thinking about covering. Like, there are like a couple DLC maps that we could have done, but I didn't. Like the Before Awakening map, which I figure I'll probably just save for like Revelations, is kind of my plan. And then we also didn't do the Japan exclusive scramble maps, because I might still be able to get them working with an English patch. I can get them working as maps. They're just stuck in Japanese, is the thing. So we can still like showcase those, but I figured those would be things that would also just be best saved for Revelations anyway, as most likely the thing. But the Harmonia Extended Universe shall always continue. What is freaking Fire Emblem Fates Conquest still gonna be about? Freaking bush camping Iago and Garen trying to get Victory Royale from their imagination box or gamer setups and whatever the heck? Is that still going to be like the lore of the Harmonia Extended Universe of Fire Emblem Fates when we continue this with Playthrough 2, or Season 2 as we can call it, or whatever the heck of this game. Is that what's gonna happen here? My good gracious. This is a whole bunch of groups. You have no idea? Well, we'll see what happens and whatnot. We shall see what happens with that. Should I adjust the doggy cam? Like, I kind of want to start a new recurring meme for future playthroughs. Like, this was a good recurring meme for Fire Emblem Fates Birthright. But I feel like for future playthroughs, we should try to figure out some new recurring meme. You know? Something new. I don't know what it would be. The whole kind of meme plot line? Really? They had even more battles and... Wow! My goodness, oh, that was from all the grinding I did in the EXP map, because Takumi was my guy he was one of my 2 guys. Him and Ryoma were my guys that I'd replicate and used to take out all the green dudes, or like whittle down the golden dudes, and then like my other good units would do would take out the golden dudes for experience. This was before I went to my cheaty Pete ways to, you know, make things go faster. 1,433 battles. Yeah, this was Ryoma and Takumi helped me with the grinding map there. This was before I was like, you know what, I'm gonna be more considerate to like my time and personal life and just become a cheaty Pete for grinding, which I think I might just do for future playthroughs. Honestly, it's just cheaty Pete my grinding. Is probably what I'm gonna do. My goodness, the end. So your boy and Kyle just disappeared off official records? Was that what it was saying for them? I've been rambling this whole time and not reading out the things like I would during like things like Awakening or 3 Houses as we've done, because I had things to ramble about and whatnot. So yeah, these are doodles that we can potentially carry over to other files, but like I don't really care too much. Yeah, I don't care. Like, we can put them in the logbook for fun, but like, do I want to put them in the logbook for fun? 5 of them for fun? Sure, for funsies. Never gonna use them there. But yeah, Garen's gonna try and brainwash Corin into being his second best Fortnite partner after Yago, of course. My goodness. There is a little bit more that I'd like to do before we wrap things up. So, as I mentioned, this was like the file, like directly where we left off from during the last session after clearing chapter 26. Whereas this file right here was where I spent 6 hours of using the cheat of like every battle gives you 100 experience. And I also used one that let you move enemies, so if the enemies in the EXP grinding map are running away, I could just literally move them back to me and continue getting more experience off them. And it still took me 6 hours, even with being a cheaty Pete, to basically do my final builds and whatnot, essentially. So this is basically like that same save file that we just beat the game on, except with 6 more hours of grinding to basically show what my final plans, like in terms of skills, would have been for all these characters had I actually like completely flushed them out before the final boss. And if I couldn't have beaten that map with that previous save file, I could have easily just switched over to this file and like freaking shreked it. Like, they don't have max stats or anything like that. I could have just as easily put on a freaking cheat for like, you know, have all their stats go up on each level up, but I didn't care about that. I just wanted to like get their skills to like show this is my plan for their final skills. Like, you can gather that if it was a perfect save file, their stats would be maxed, but that doesn't matter. So for Midori here, we have good old Shuriken Fair that she has access to with Master Ninja that she's able to use in Dread Fighter as well. Luna she inherited from good old Kyle, from getting it from Silas from his A+ support. Don't remember where she got Rend Heaven from. Does she just have access to Bizarra there? Yeah, that's level 76 is a little bit exaggerated considering, you know, all the special DLC classes have essentially plus 20 because they count as like, you know, pre-promoted as opposed to somebody who's in a, you know, actual, you know, kind of promoted class. So basically, she's in reality level 56, you could say. And it looks like she went through a lot of things. She got Rend Heaven from somewhere. I don't know where. That must have just been part of her like freaking class set thingamabob or something like that. Oh, maybe that was from her. No, that wasn't from her mother. I don't know where it was from, but she got it from freaking somewhere. Life Taker she was able to get by actually getting an A+ with Kana to get access to the Dark Knight class, or to get access to the Dark Mage class set, I should say. So that means that it's possible to give Midori Life Taker, which is pretty spicy spice. And Replicate she just has access to anyway, because she starts out with like both Apothecary and Ninja, so like she's gonna have access to Replicate no matter what. Azura pretty much the same kind of thing here, but with Amaterasu. She's up to level 90 now, by the way, because every time she sang, she would gain 100 XP with my freaking cheaty Pete ways. I was tempted to get her to level 99, but I didn't. She could use another Eternal Seal, though, because of that. So, like, you know, Yeah, it is still pretty crazy. Here's another Eternal Seal for Azura so that she can progress past level 90. So, you know, there's that. The more you know. Karagi here is still just basic ballistician stuff. This would have been freaking handy to have during, like, the final map in that previous thing. To have, like, you know, more movement and freaking other stuff here that just helps him out and whatnot. So 3 ballistician things, then Astra and Bowfair for just like typical kind of stuff there. Dwyer here can also have access to Shuriken Fair. Where does he get that from again? I should load up my, where is my spreadsheet? Do I have it open on any tabs around here? Because I might actually be able to tell you where these skills are from exactly. I do have it over here. So let's see here. For Dwyer, where does he get this from anyway? Like he just gets Luna from, he has access to Cavalier as like one of his class sets, so that's understandable there. And he got Astra from, he got it from, oh, that was just what was passed down from his mother of Sakura, and Sakura was able, and I remember now, and Sakura was able to get it through A+ with Hana, is how it was able to do. So A+ing Sakura with Hana, and then having Hana be Dwyer's mother, you're able to pass down Astra and whatnot. When would they stop getting stats from level ups anyway? When they turn green like this, to mean that they're maxed out. Every class in this game has like a maximum stat, where it's like, if you are in this class, that is the maximum for that stat. And each character will have maximum stat modifiers. So let's say Dwyer's maximum stat modifiers are -1 in strength, 2 in magic, 0 in skill. That means that, let's say the maximum for Butler was 36 strength. Because he'd have a -1 maximum stat modifier, the max would actually be 35 for him. If he had a 2 maximum stat modifier in magic, and the normal max would be 36, then his max would be 38, for example. And if he had no maximum stat modifier in skill, and the max was 35, then his max would just be 35. You can also increase the cap with these gold statues. Anytime there's statues in this game that you can build when a unit reaches 25, 50, and 100 kills respectively, I believe, and each one of them are assigned to a stat, so it raises cap on all allies magic. So if you put down a bronze statue, the initial one, it'll just raise that stat for that character by 1. If you upgrade into a silver statue when they get like 50 kills and use a bunch of Dragon Vein points, then you unlock that stat up 1 for them and everybody that they have support with. And if you get the gold statue, then it increases the cap on like everybody. So as you can see, I have like a whole block of statues here that are essentially raising the cap for like everybody. So the cap is also affected by that for the maximum stats. But like, if it's green, that means it's maxed out. If I put down another strength statue that I got to gold, then the new cap would become 37 though. And it's also weird because your castle only lets you place down like 50 buildings in general maximum. So if I destroyed, say, my private quarters, I'd be able to place down 1 more statue. If I destroyed, say, the freaking smithy or the armory or anything like that, I'd be able to place down 1 more statue. So if you want like some of the best base stats you can get, you also want to be very minimalistic with your other stuff, which I think is a little bit of like dumb design, but that's just me. That's how the max caps work essentially. So yeah, and then he just has freaking live to serve here from, you know, just being able to heal others, heal himself and whatnot. And the replicate he got from A+ with Asugi. That gives him access to the ninja class so he can replicate and be 2 healers, be in 2 places at once. Kana here has Hashiden Unity, thanks to, you know, actually leveling up more than she was in the other file and whatnot. And then with that, has a little bit of a roulette wheel of her own. Freaking Dragon Fane, Astra, Luna, and whatnot. And then I just slapped on Replicate. We could have slapped on like Rend Heaven or freaking Vengeance, something like that, but we wouldn't have been able to slap on Ether if I stuck with like my rule set of like only 1 of each DLC item freaking skill thingamabob. If I negated that rule, then I could easily slap on Ether for like the last slot, but you know, rules are rules when it comes to this playthrough. Shiro over here has freaking skills up the yin yang as well. Ether he gets from being in the Vanguard class. Astra he can get from Swordmaster that he just has access to. And Luna he gets from Ryoma, who gets it from Silas with an A+ support and whatnot. And then Strength Taker is also from Vanguard. And then Replicate I thought would have to come from... I thought I needed to S support him with Midori to get access to Apothecary through that, and then he'd be able to have access to Replicate. And I said it many times during this playthrough that Shiro can't replicate until he freaking gets his S support with Midori, so that he can get access to Apothecary and get it from there. But then I completely forgot that Kagero was his mother. I was spreading misinformation. His mother is Kagero and already passed a ninja down to him, so he already had access to replicate through that. He already can get it through his mother. is a thing anyway, because she passes down that class set. So I spread a little bit of misinformation earlier in this playthrough saying that I was freaking supporting Shiro with Midori to give Shiro access to replicate, because he already had access to replicate. And yeah, technically at level 46 because DLC class, but still, and whatnot. This playthrough is hella anime. We have like Densu the Wado Ichibanki and the Shadow Clone Jutsu. My oh my, how things have turned out. Shigure here has good old Tome Fair to do stuffs. Some more skills with Astra and Renheaven just being nice things. Then Replicate as he had before. And because of Replicate, I slapped on Gale Force. Gale Force only procs if you like take out an enemy on your own without any support. But that'll happen every once in a while, especially with Replicate. So I figured that could be a spicy thing to have on there. Rajat here has some pretty basic stuff like Tome Fair for more damage with Tomes, good old Warp and Replicate, more damage with Rend Heaven, and then freaking Death Blow for just additional crit when you initiate attack. Because Witch is also one of those classes that gets like 10 free crit just for being in that class. So anytime she initiates an attack, that's like plus 30 crit essentially. So she's gotta be critting a decent bit of the time when she's attacking, which is spicy spice. Kaldori here is basically pumped up with skills like many others. Freaking Ether from being in the Great Lord class, has access to Astra by having access to Swordmaster, which she is a class set that she inherits from Tsubaki, and then access to Luna from her S support, not S support, A plus support, yeah, because she A plus supported Sophie, and Sophie has Cavalier, so that therefore gives Kaldori access to Luna, and is able to give her that. Awakening is also from Great Lord, and then Replicate is just handy. Like, it's not, Awakening isn't too important. I was debating about just slapping on, like, Rend Heaven or something like that, or something. I don't remember what I was debating about slapping in there. But I was like, you know what, let's just go with, like, Awakening, just in case. Like, these skills are already gonna be, like, pretty spicy spice having those three there. Let's see here. I could take off Aptitude and replace it with something, probably like the Beastly Fangs or something like that. Through S support, she has access to the Dark Mage line, which gives her a Life Taker. She gets Astra from her who the hell? Mozu is her mother, I believe, and her father is freaking Kaden. And he got, oh yeah, Kaden A plus Hinata and got access to Astra through that. So that's from her father. And then Replicate and freaking Rend Heaven. Where do you get Replicate from again? Where is, I think it's from Midori is where it is, right? Yeah, it's from an A plus with Midori that gives her access to the Apothecary line that gives her the option to Replicate, which is spicy spice. Alright, Bone Knight Sophie here just got a little bit crazier than we were able to showcase in our playthrough. What with, she already had Replicate, and she already had Bowfair, but now she has skills up the yin-yang. She has Luna from having access to Cavalier as one of her main class sets. She has access to Soul by having the Mercenary line as one of her main class sets. And then she gets Astra from another of her class sets that she got from her mother, Hana, because Samurai is Hana's main class set. So because of that, freaking Silas Hana has got to be like one of my favorite pairings in this game. You literally just make freaking Bone Knight Sophie the monster. It's a little bit insane. It's a little bit crazy. Hazama here fitting into his good old Lodestar role with access to the Samurai line. He has access to Swordfair. Dual Guardsman is like a really busted skill in this game since it just gives you more dual guard points when they're in the back and whatnot, which compare especially well with Replicate. Why did I take off Replicate? Why is that off here? I should take off Rend Heaven and put on Replicate. That's not right. Speed Taker's always nice. Freaking Astra and that. Why did I take off Replicate? What the hell? Hazame. Yeah, as spicy as that is, Replicate. Because that way you can be a dual guardsman for like another person. I feel like a bit is an understatement. Yeah, maybe a bit. But yeah, so he's a pretty good support role who can also easily switch to the Vanguard and still wreck things, you know? So he's good in support. This kind of stuff, maybe they should both be by the bottom for like better organizational stuff, whatever. It's like that now. We have Mitama down here where, oh yeah, I actually, you know what I freaking did? I actually took the time to beat all the freaking, like this stuff that gives the Taker skills. That's part of the reason this took me so long, was the thing before we could finish off Fire Emblem Fates by beating the game and showing off my final builds, because I had to beat those to get like the item taker skills, and I stuck by my rules of like I can only give one taker skill to or one like DLC item skill to everybody. And Mitama was the recipient of Magic Taker, so she has Tome Fair for more magic damage, Life Taker from Dark Knight, Magic Taker from, you know, the item and whatnot. So every time she defeats a foe, she's gonna be getting back like half of her HP and gaining +2 magic. to potentially 10 max for the whole rest of the map, which is pretty spicy spice. And then just more skills of like Astra and Rend Heaven for more damage. So, you know, Mitama's a little bit of a force to be reckoned with that kind of thing, to say the least. Next, we have a Sugi over here that still has Foreign Princess that he gets from his mother of Azura. Good old Astra, since he has access to the Samurai line. Rend Heaven from the classes in Bazaar that he got from his A+ support with Shiro and whatnot. He just has access to Replicate since he has Ninja, and same with like this for having access to the Samurai line and whatnot. So, you know, Asugi is a pretty alrighty Bazaar as well, I gotta say. Then there's my unit, which is like the same thing as before, but like more stats, like more level ups since before. Just like good old Hashira Unity, and then a bunch of skills to proc. Just Hashira Unity, and then a bunch of skills that you can proc. A whole bunch of spicy skills as well, being freaking, you know, a bunch of really good ones. None of the lesser ones like Rend Heaven, all four being actual spicy spice ones. And since I was in the middle of doing it anyway, I actually took the time to do some things with like Anna, with her class sets, which doesn't give her a whole lot of things. It gives her Replicate, which can be pretty spicy. But most of her stuff is like pretty standard at the end of the day. And then I didn't like touch any of these units or anything like that since their builds were basically already done. Since I basically already did that. And these ones I did all without being a cheaty Pete, was the thing. So those ones are the ones that were pain. Why do you need an Eternal Seal? But like for making this alternate save file at the end and having the two different save files, I was a cheaty Pete. Because my goodness, all it changes is how much time I'm spending off camera. This is literally all it changes. So if I can take any measures to lessen that, I will. And I think I might just do that for future playthroughs. So yeah, that's essentially like a showcase of, you know, what my final plans would have been here had I actually taken the time to like flesh out my save file. And this will be my main save file from now on. If for whatever reason I come back to Fire Emblem Fates Birthright, this is now like my main save file here, essentially. The one that I grinded in after Thingamabob's there. So yeah, now you know. Now you know. We managed to beat the map. We managed to beat the final map with still the direct carryover stuff that we had at the end of chapter 26. With just the skills that we had acquired along the way there without any extra grinding or anything like that. Apart from like Ryoma and my unit, since they had to get skills for their children and stuff anyway. It's art, isn't it great? Well, a smackaroo with you there. So thank you for coming to my TED Talk. And those are like, with the pairings that I did, those are my like optimal builds for like the kiddo units and making busted armies. So, you know, part of the reason the save file has taken so long for Fire Emblem Fates Birthright is because we did take the time to like flush out everybody, even if I did become a cheaty Pete at the end, because I'm tired of having 140 hours in this game. My good gracious. Smackaroo, nice. But yeah, so how to do like, not exactly the best builds. I won't exactly claim that that's like the best builds that's possible to make. Like in Fire Emblem Awakening, it was more blatant what some of the best possible builds could be. There still wasn't like a common, this is the best thing that you have to do or anything like that, but it was a little bit more blatant in Awakening than it is in this game. How about you, Mias? Thank you. Like, it's way more up to interpretation in Fates. But that's like my optimal builds, at least. It could have been more optimal had I known from the get-go. If I had known from the get-go the whole thing with like the class set inheritance with partner seals and friendship seals not quite working the way that I wanted, then I would have been able to do even spicier builds. Like, I might have to redo my Fire Emblem Conquest spreadsheet. I might not because I'm lazy, but I'll just look over it to see if there are any cases of like skills not being able to be passed the way that I would think, considering that whole situation that I really wish could be fixed. So, you know, had I had this knowledge from the beginning, these builds that I would have had for the kiddo units probably would have been even better if I had known and matched up characters accordingly. But I didn't. But it still turned out pretty well, I think. But yeah, it's beautiful, a masterpiece, and it's just the beginning. Yep, 2 more playthroughs to go. It's especially in Revelations I'm gonna have to be a cheaty Pete to, you know, grind characters up to do, like, optimal builds. Like, I'm not willing to put in the time to, like, grind and do it normally. I thought I was by the beginning of this playthrough, but by the end of this playthrough, by the end of... How many hours do I have in this now? By the end of 145.5 hours, not even including resets for, like, maps that I screwed up at. So it's probably somewhere close to 150 hours. After 150 hours in Fire Emblem Fates Birthright, I found out I'm not actually willing to take 3,000 years grinding for, like, the optimal builds that I want just for the sake of showcasing. So I think I'm going to cheaty Pete in the future anytime that I be doing off-camera stuff. And of course, I'm not ever going to, like, be like, okay, let's grind until I made myself completely OP so I can handle all the maps without a challenge. Like, that was the whole point of having this file to finish off the game and still have it be, like, a semi-challenge, and then this whole separate one to showcase builds. Like, that was the whole point of that, for example. But, you know. So I won't, like, ever abuse it. I won't ever be like, let's grind until we're completely OP and can just, like, absolutely shred everything. Like, there was the exception from my unit and the, like, basically all the adult units. Like, my unit and Ryoma, for example. Because I had to level them up anyway to freaking get them the skills that they pass down to their kiddos, you know? Like, all the adult units, I had to level up like crazy until they got the skills that they'd pass down to their kiddo units. But then once I recruit all the kiddo units, then I just use them without, you know, having to grind them with them having kiddo units of their own, except for, you know, my own as support partner, apart from that. So, yeah, just doing the grinding that is necessary to make these builds and whatnot, and I won't make them until necessary, like I did with this file. Like, I literally haven't made these in the main playthrough at all until, you know, making this alternate save file. So we never even used these wacky builds in the playthrough. As tempting as it'd be to, like, do the final map again with it. Do I want to do the final map again with this? I'm very tempted to, but it's also 2 AM, so, like, I'm kind of tired. And I wanted to put this new graphics card into my computer at the same time, is also the thing. But, you know, you can probably roughly gather that everything would be shredded, you know? So, I think I deleted my, layout that had, like, the rules and whatnot. I think I still have the command for, like, rules. What were the exact rules that I had? So yeah, no buying skills or units from other players or save files. Yep, didn't do any of that. All the skills and units that we got were completely legitimately. So, you know, with buying skills, you could in theory get freaking, like, Hashidan Unity on, like, any of the kiddo units, for example. But no, all the skills that we got through here are, like, completely through the class sets that these characters had access to. Nothing put on there that they can't get. Not a single thing. All completely legit with that. Maximum 1 use of each DLC skill item per save, yada yada. We only use the 1 ether skill item that was here. Only use, like, the 1 magic taker that was here. I guess I started using, like, the other things, like defense taker and whatnot on those that, like, I guess I can just scroll through and show what I did grind up some of these characters. Like, but I can just, while I'm rambling, scroll through these so you can, like, just have a look at the skills and what my final plans were for the parent units as well, while we're here and whatnot. Then there's, like, maximum 1 DLC class use per save file. Yep, we did that, and all the main DLC dudos. Looks like our plan was freaking skill taker with Saizo and whatnot, with good old Astra and that, and his skill already being pretty good, because why not? Why ever not? I guess we take off aptitude and put on, like, something else there, presumably, if you're, like, maxed out, but you know, and then no first blood is just a DLC item that makes anybody have royal blood and able to use dragon veins. Looks like Hinoka was the one that got resistance taker to be, like, even more of a, like, mage wall. Well, no, then she if it wasn't obvious enough by now, your girl isn't in Birthright. She is not, but is going to be in Conquest, so looking forward to that. So yeah, these are basically my final things that I had on each of these characters and whatnot. So I'll just, like, scroll through. I won't go into depth with them like I did with the kiddo units, because I technically have already gone through these during previous sessions right before we got the kiddo units. We should have discussed, like, the parents' builds, like, before we got their kiddo units each, something like that. I know I did it at some point. I don't know exactly when, so I'll just, like, casually scroll through to show generally what we had going on here. I put Quitoxic on Aboro because I was like, hey, more skill activation rate, that's fun. But then when she started getting, like, hit with 100% hit rates in the arena, I think it'd be better to actually take off Quixotic. I always say Quitoxic, but Quixotic. That should probably be taken off and replaced with something else. I'm tired of her being hit, like, by the enemies in the arena 100% of the time, because that's rather irksome. Same with Setsuna, honestly. I'm starting to have, like, second thoughts on that skill. Takumi was the recipient for the freaking Strength Taker item because, you know, that sounds like a good idea to me and whatnot. But yeah, for the most part, it's basically just stuff that I've, you know, shown already and whatnot. Basically stuff with that. Scarlet here is our, like, grind on that sigil spot kind of build, as we discussed in that one part. I forget when it was. The whole build to freaking lunge to the end of the boot camp map and literally just camp on the sigil and casually tap all the golden dudes until they're all taken out. And it's a really good way to grind, but an even better way to grind is freaking be a cheaty Pete. And then the good old Ryoma build that we've been using for a good while and whatnot. So that's basically That's my builds on, like, everybody, I guess, except for, I guess I didn't do it with everybody. We didn't take the time for sure, or, like, use Anna, but, like, whatever. Or Rhina. Or any of the freaking, you know, capturable bosses, because I don't care. Quite frankly. I really don't care. But, yeah. So that's how I handle Fire Emblem Fates Birthright 101, essentially. That is Acoustic Harmonia's interpretation of making builds and pairings and all that fun stuff in a file of Fire Emblem Fates Birthright. When we continue with this, we'll see the same thing with Conquest, I guess. Maybe it'll be another 3-month-long playthrough like this one was. We'll see. It's probably gonna be something like 3 months before I even am able to get to it. Like I said before, my current estimate is sometime around, like, fall to winterish. Worst case scenario, it could be sometime early next year, but we'll see how things play out. It really depends on, like, my game schedule and how things wind up working out. But I should start Conquest sometime this year, and then Revelations will probably be sometime 2022. We'll see. We'll see. Nobody cares about Rhina. Yeah. Yeah. Why can she not freaking support with anybody but the Avatar anyway? If she was, like, a normal unit that could support with, like, the whole cast and be, like, another freaking potential mother, that would have been great. Why isn't she? That's something else that irks me about the gameplay of this game. There's a lot of little things that irk me about the gameplay of this game. That's one of them. So, yeah. That is, after freaking about 150 hours in this file, 20 streams, and about 85 parts. That is basically Acoustic Harmonia's full handle on making builds and breaking Fire Emblem Fates Birthright, essentially, without buying any skills from other files or players, or spamming DLC items or anything like that. Definitely using, like, a smidge of every DLC thing to showcase it and whatnot. Definitely using a smidge of each DLC thing there is, which is like one each, you know? So never spamming it, never going ham, never becoming so absurdly broken with, like, DLC things. Like, for example, literally any unit in this game can technically get ether, since it's a DLC item that you can get. You could literally give your entire army ether, and it's silly. But that's the way Fates is, I guess. But yeah, 6 months maybe we'll have beaten Conquest by then. Yeah, we'll come back to this whenever my game queue eases up a little bit. Once my game queue eases up a bit, and once I get back in the Fire Emblem Fates mood, because I'm tired. We've been doing this for a good while. Like I said, this is literally stream 20, so we've been doing this a good while, and I need a break. I need to just put this down for a while and take a little bit of a break. But Conquest is the route that I've been looking the most forward to, so when I really get into the Fire Emblem Fates mood again, which will be a little while since I gotta take a break after this much time, but once I am in the Fire Emblem Fates mood again, I'm gonna hop back into this game, and I'm gonna be hyped as heck. I'm gonna be so hyped to start Conquest. I had fun breaking Birthright, but I'm gonna take more time management strategies in the future, spend less time grinding. Why do I still have this Chapter 19 Rainbow Stage thingamabob? What is all this freaky stuff that I have? A bunch of test files and whatnot. What a time this has been. We're taking a break. I don't know how long it's gonna be. Once 2 conditions are met is how long it's gonna be. First condition, my game queue is a little bit freaking less crazy. And second condition, I really feel like playing Fire Emblem Fates again. Both of those conditions don't exactly have a set date, so we'll see what happens. It's up to interpretation. But for now, like I was saying earlier during the question, what question is what comes next, Conquest or Black Eagles? I honestly seriously considered that, finishing off, like, you know, the one route of 3 houses that I didn't do before continuing and doing Conquest. I don't know if I have the motivation to or not. Actually, before we wrap things up, there is something quickly I can show you. There is something quickly I can show, thinking about that. Hold on. Where is my, here's my Switch. Let's take out Skyward Sword HD and find a place for it in my game case. Let's just put it in this kind of temporary spot for now. Where do I put Fire Emblem 3 Houses? Where do I put it? What game case do I put it in? The hell? Do I put it in this game case? The answer is yes, it's right there. Hold on. On the topic of Fire Emblem 3 Houses Black Eagles, we did freaking the Silver Snow route on Hard Classic, which was the hardest difficulty of the time, and then we did Blue Lions on Hard Classic, which was also the hardest difficulty of the time, and then freaking the DLC on Hard Classic, because that was the hardest difficulty there. Let's close the emulation for now and switch my input over. And then finally, by the time we got to Golden Deer, Maddening Classic was a thing that existed. And that's... Do we have audio here? Okay, we do. And then Maddening Classic existed, so we did Golden Deer on Maddening Classic. But at this point, it's like, I've done the hardest difficulty that was available at the time for 3 of 4 routes. So I probably don't really need to showcase it again, per se, is the thing. And, you know, we've already thoroughly experienced Maddening with Golden Deer with some of the freaking wackiest stuff that we've seen in, strategy games in a very, very long time. Let's see here. So my thought process was, if I ever do come back to freaking Black Eagles and finish it off before we start Conquest, I would just do it in normal casual, just to speedrun Bum Rush's story. And because Black Eagles is one where it like splits the Black Eagles route into the Empire route and the like core Black Eagles route, and we've already done the Empire route, there's literally no need to cover the first half again. So what my mindset was like, what if I did a playthrough of, yeah, here it is here, it's very little in. What if I did a playthrough of like all the way up until the split on my own in normal casual? Because we've already done all the way up to the split before in hard classic when this game first came out. So there's literally no reason to showcase like the exact same thing again. There's no reason to do that. So my thought process is, what if like in my spare time, I made progress in like this normal casual file just to like get it to that point, and then we just like on normal casual bum rush the rest of the 3 houses playthrough from there, was my mindset. And well, I started this file. It's another like New Game Plus file that's continued from the regular stuff. I guess I was mixing and matching with like costumes, but you can tell it's very early on. Here's the Explore tutorial, for example. Like, it's telling me the map. So this file is very much not far at all. But this is just like a normal freaking casual. Yeah, normal. And then it's going to be a, I guess you can't see where it's casual, but this is a casual file. This is literally just like a normal casual Black Eagles file is what this is. And I don't know why it's so quiet. Maybe I need to turn up my own headphone volume. Oh yeah, I freaking threw them all in these things, I guess. So I only started this file when I was like out of town one day and I was bored and I wanted something to do. So I was like, okay, let's start that file that I was planning on starting, and I started it. So like, I do technically have my foot in the door for like this file to make progress in off camera and then like finish off 3 houses for good later on. But even just starting this file and getting up to this like, you know, demo exploration, I already got bored out of my mind since I already have like 315 hours in Fire Emblem 3 houses. So I put it down, but you know, maybe at some point when I have free time and I want to like watch some YouTube and do something on the side, this could be something more to speed run through. If we ever do the final route of 3 houses, this is what it's gonna be. This file at the split in the, you know, Black Eagles route in just normal casual, just to bum rush the story and finally have like a completed 3 houses thingamabob. Because I am tired of this game, is the thing. So, you know, it really depends if, one, I have the motivation to like do that final push through 3 houses, and this route would be the shortest one from that point onward. And like 2 is, do I have the time and motivation on my hands to get this file to the point where it splits anyway, you know? Do I have that? Because I started this file. I do have my foot in the door, at least. This file has been started. But like, you can see I haven't exactly gotten very far in this file, so, you know, it is technically possible that before we do Conquest Lunatic Classic on this channel, we could always finish off the last little smidge of 3 houses we have left. But, we'll probably wind up doing both eventually. But I don't know what order it's gonna be in, quite frankly. So, who knows, maybe instead of Conquest Lunatic Classic later this year, we'll do freaking Fire Emblem 3 houses, Black Eagles, freaking normal casual mode, just to finish it off and get it done with already, and then do Conquest Lunatic Classic. I can go, what if, yeah, I can do that. If I do that, then I'll go through like the super hard thing first, the super mentally hard thing of just like, oh, I've done this a bazillion times, and then I can, and then as the reward for having finally finished off 3 houses, then I can hop into the thing I've been looking forward to for a long time of Conquest Lunatic Classic. I could do like the painful thing first, and then Conquest Lunatic Classic is like my reward for having completed that. Maybe I'll do that. I'll consider it. I'm not gonna like make any guarantees right now at freaking 2:30 in the morning, just rambling on. This is not the time to be making promises about things. But that is an idea. that is an idea. So, you know, there's things to consider. We'll probably finish off 3 houses at some point. Isn't it crazy to think this game is over 2 years old now and I still haven't finished my full playthrough of it, and I have nearly 300 episodes? I'm tired of 3 houses. Anyway, yeah, there's the update on that, essentially. So, the more you know. More you know, I guess. That's my plan with that. So maybe we'll do it before Conquest Lunatic Classic. Maybe not. I don't know. Will I have, like, the motivation and time to get this file to the point where we can do that? Will I have the motivation to even continue it, assuming that I did get the file to that point? Who knows? If only I could transfer my save data as easily like with my 3DS. If only I could send my Fire Emblem 3 Houses file here to somebody else and just ask, can you just play this for me up until this point? Thanks. If only. I wish. Whatever. But yeah, so thanks all who stopped by and hung out for these shenanigans. I've been rambling for long enough. So this is a good place to wrap things up. So thanks all who stopped by and hung out. Take care, and see you